it is recommended that you first watch my Ape Escape 2 review before watching this review. I was honestly surprised when I found out about Ape Escape 3. Before playing the game, I was only aware of the first and second Ape Escapes, and after having played the second game, I was really looking forward to playing the third. Ape Escape 3 was developed by SCE Japan Studio and was published by Sony. After now having played the game, what do I think of it? Is it good, bad, or just meh? The game's story this time starts with Kai and Yumi, who are twins that live with their aunt Aki. They are contacted by Natalie, who informs them that Spectre once again is on the loose. This time he has managed to team up with the scientist Dr. Takumi, and together they have created their own TV station, and with the help of the other monkeys, they have started making their own shows. Their TV shows end up being so stupid that anyone who watches them instantly becomes a couch potato. Unfortunately, Spike, Jimmy, and the Professor get affected by the monkey shows. So Natalie asks for Kai and Yumi to catch all the monkeys and put a stop to Spectre's plans. Okay, so yeah, the story is pretty dumb, and it's just an excuse for the gameplay. But I do like how the concept opens a game to interesting level themes. Plus, the story isn't too important for this type of game. I will admit that I was confused as to why we weren't playing any of the past characters this time, but I think they made new characters just so you can choose to play as a boy or a girl. Aside from that, Kai and Yumi really don't stand out too much. They're not bad characters, they're just not that interesting. Ape Escape 3 is a 3D platformer collectathon game. At the beginning of the game, you can choose to play as either Kai or Yumi, which for the most part is only a cosmetic difference. But if you choose to play as Yumi, there are very few monkeys in the game who will be stunned upon seeing her, making them easier to catch. Like I said though, this very rarely happens. The hub world this time around is much larger, as it leads to a small town section. In the town, you can visit shops, such as a store where you can restore your health and get extra lives, a store where you can get some music and cars, and a store where you can buy stories and pictures. There's also a theater where you can play around with clips you've gotten throughout the game. However, I think you need all the clips first before you can do anything with it. You can view all the photos, stories, and music in the main hub world, where you can also save your game and play some of the mini games you've unlocked. And of course, you can access levels from the hub world as well. The levels themselves are small open worlds that are great for exploring, as there are some fun platforming sections in some levels and switches that lead to all new areas in others. Scattered throughout the levels are monkeys that you will have to catch. In order to progress through the game, you'll have to catch a certain amount of monkeys in each level. Once again, you catch monkeys using gadgets, however this time around there are fewer gadgets. The returning gadgets are the Stun Club, Monkey Net, Dash Hoop, RC Car, Sky Flyer, Water Net, and the Monkey Radar, which all have the same functions as before. The controls are the same as Ape Escape 2 as well, using the dual joystick controls. Thankfully, the controls work really well, and the way you use the right analog stick to use the gadgets feels quite natural. Only the Water Net acts differently, as its controls are much more simplified, which is fine as it works very well. The only downside is that there really isn't any underwater exploring. Monkeys this time can be a bit more aggressive, as sometimes when they attack you, they might knock off your Stun Club or Monkey Net. If they pick the gadget up after knocking it off of you, they can use it themselves. Monkeys can even catch you with the Monkey Net, which will kick you out of the level. But thankfully, you will get all your gadgets back every time you return to the hub world. Also, if you hit a monkey enough times with the Stun Club, you can get them very angry, which causes them to attack much more aggressively for a very short period of time. After attacking, they will then have a cooldown, making them much easier to catch, which is a risky but helpful technique should you try it. There are also vehicles in some levels, such as robots, tanks, and a boat. They don't appear very often, which is good because the vehicles, like the robot, are very awkward to control, while the rest of the vehicles are just okay, such as the tanks and the cars. To make up for the lack of gadgets, the game introduced morphs, which are costumes that your characters can transform into that last for only a certain amount of time, or as long as you continue to pick up green vials. Each costume has their own different kind of playstyle and advantages, and also can be used to catch monkeys by clicking the right analog stick, which is kinda awkward. First we have the Fantasy Knight, which has very strong attacks and is capable of blocking enemy attacks as well as fire. You can also perform a special attack with this morph and can use the summoning ring to catch monkeys surrounding you. Secondly, we have the Wild West Kid, who is capable of shooting at enemies and monkeys from a distance, as well as being able to shoot a net to catch monkeys. Next we have the Miracle Ninja, who has very rapid attacks and can even create temporary doppelgangers of themselves. The Miracle Ninja can also run along special walls, run across ropes, and has a gliding jump which is actually kind of awkward to use. To catch monkeys, you shoot out small ninjas at them. Then we have the Genie Dancer, who attacks enemies with the maracas and can even move around the genie. You can make the genie dance to lure out certain monkeys, as well as distract other monkeys or enemies, making them easier to catch or defeat. The genie can also teleport between special vases, and you catch monkeys by shooting a net at them. Of all the morphs, this one is by far the most awkward to control. Moving on, we have the Dragon Kung Fu Fighter, who is very good at fighting enemies and builds up power by making their attacks stronger. The morph also allows you to hit special switches that usually break objects. And you catch monkeys by wildly swinging around your net all around your character, which is actually pretty helpful. Lastly, there is the Cyber Ace, who is capable of shooting powerful blasts at enemies or creating a shockwave to attack nearby enemies surrounding them. The Cyber Ace can also do some mid-air charge to get over large gaps, and catches monkeys by dashing into them. It's a helpful but kind of awkward morph to use, while the Fantasy Knight, Miracle Ninja, and Wild West Kid morphs I found to be more fun and useful. The Freaky Monkey 5 make a return in this game and are the bosses you will encounter. Most of the boss fights seem to be focused around the morphs, which makes the boss fights really easy, but most of them are actually rather fun. After you've caught all the monkeys in the game, you will get the Monkey Morph, which allows you to find hidden monkeys in all the levels by following the banana scent, which is an okay idea, but I wish the hidden monkeys were hidden in a more fun way. Thankfully, there are secret codes you can get in the game that will unlock harder hidden monkeys for you to catch, which is awesome. After you've caught all the monkeys in a level, you will unlock free play mode, where you can try to catch all the monkeys in one go. There is also time trials for each of the levels as well. And finally, after you've beaten the game, you will unlock the Metal Gear Solid minigame, which is a minigame based off the Metal Gear Solid games, which is practically its own game, and it's not bad. In terms of the visuals, the game looks great. It has a very cartoon-like visual style to it that I find to be very charming. A lot of the levels are based off of movies and movie genres such as horrors, westerns, children's shows, and Indiana Jones. The levels are really colorful and have some great detail to them, and there are plenty of film references scattered throughout the game, like to Star Wars, Godzilla, Superman, and even Charlie Chaplin. Character models are also very well detailed and look very good, plus the animation is fantastic, especially when it comes to the monkeys, who have very expressive and entertaining expressions. Not only are the visuals great, but so is the music. A lot of the music in the game is very upbeat and catchy, with some of the tracks being pretty memorable. In the end, my hopes were exceeded with this game. Catching monkeys is still fun, and I really love the level themes, as well as how fun it is to explore most of the levels as well. The morphs are pretty fun to use for the most part, and help add something new to the gameplay. Plus, there's just so much to collect in the game, more than I was ever expecting, and I really love being able to replay the levels in free play mode. Ape Escape 3 is a good game. If you're a fan of collectathons and 3D platformers, then this is definitely a PS2 game you need to try out. Sure, the controls take a little time to get used to, and the vehicles for the most part suck, but catching monkeys is very fun and addictive, and the levels have some really nice layouts to them. As far as I'm aware, this is the latest game in the main series, which is a shame as I'd really like to see a fourth game. I think there is still plenty they can do with the series, and recently Sony could really use some good platformers for the PS4. Needless to say, Ape Escape 2 and 3 really got me into the series. I've even picked up the original game for PS1 and had some fun with that as well. Ape Escape 3 though is by far my favorite in the series, and has so far been my favorite collectathon game for the PlayStation 2. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review and found it to be rather informative. If you'd like to see more reviews, please check out my channel. And please don't forget to subscribe. And if there are any other PS2 games you'd like to see me review in the future, please leave a suggestion down below. Well, I'm MCB the PS2 Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.